everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a speed build I said I wouldn't do. That's right, this is Highbourne Castle's interior. Now, I made Highbourne Castle a couple of weeks ago and at the time decided that I wasn't going to do the interior, or if I was going to do the interior, I was simply going to do it in my own time and upload it straight to the gallery and not do a speed build. And the reason for that was because the layout and floor plan of the castle was quite complex in the end, because I decided to drop a rooftop pool into the middle of this castle, which made everything then 10 times as complicated. But saying that, I was kind of doing a few builds in between and I was having a look on the gallery and I was thinking, I don't want to upload it to the gallery because it was empty. So I thought, well, I'm going to have to furnish it. And if I'm going to furnish it, I may as well do a speed build. And I thought it was the first of my Millionaire's Row build series where I'm currently building some mega mansions. And I thought I can't well and truly not do the interior. So here it is. Here's the interior. Now, I decided to just incorporate the main rooms, I would say, in this build. I can't include absolutely every single one because this footage would have just been too long. But if you are interested in just seeing the screenshots, then feel free to fast forward all the way to 14 minutes and 45 seconds and you'll get kind of like some screenshots panning round and you can see what the overall build looks like. So again, I've started with the middle floor, which is the first floor, and I'm just going around doing some bedrooms, and there wasn't actually, I think the first floor had 4 bedrooms on it, a couple of bathrooms, and kind of like this entertainment music type space that I decided to build. There's actually a lot of detail in the landing and hallway areas, which I absolutely love, but just due to the shape of this build, it's kind of impossible to incorporate it into the speed build without you not really seeing it properly. I don't even know whether that makes sense, but the point being, if you're truly interested in this build and you'd like to see it in a lot more detail, and there is a lot more detail that I haven't included, feel free to go to the gallery and search Simkin Builds, which is my Origin ID, and you'll be able to download it and have a little nosy further that way. But yeah, so I decided to keep it kind of, it's sort of a black and white theme. I do find that sort of quite a posh, regal type of theme, with the whole whites and the blacks, but it's kind of a little bit gothic, but a bit posh. I don't even know if that makes sense. I know what I mean, but it is a little more, I'd say more gothic downstairs and a little bit more traditional upstairs. But I really quite like the way that it turned out, and funnily enough, I've really dragged my heels over doing the interior of this, and I don't really know why that was. I must have completely exhausted myself doing interiors somewhere along the line and just really kind of dreaded doing it. I think it was when I came to do the floor plan and I kind of thought, this is quite hard to, you know, kind of do up on the inside, and I just put it off. But when I came to do it today, it's literally taken me no time at all, so I was really chuffed with it in the end. And I did go ahead and try and use a few colours, like this particular room. Oh, it's not really my type of colours, and I think this is about as garish as it gets in this build. But yeah, I did try and kind of push it out a little bit and do some colours that I wouldn't necessarily ordinarily do. But yeah, this build turned out pretty good in the end. My favourite parts, I would say, are the 2 main reception rooms downstairs. I do quite like the dining room as well. I've not done a dining room quite that extravagant in any other build as yet, and I do quite like this entranceway as well, how it kind of dips down. That was something that I mapped out a couple of weeks ago when I actually did the floor plan, and I did this kind of like dropping down the level. Is it like a little bit of split leveling? And yeah, I quite liked it in the end. It wasn't as symmetrical as I'd like it to be with my OCD, but it worked out. It did look all right. And I kind of did this weird thing as well, as you can see there with these chandeliers where I mixed two of the lights together. I'm not entirely sure. You know, I am all for being experimental with different objects in The Sims 4, but I wasn't entirely sure whether that worked or not, but I went with it anyway. So we're going with this being kind of a big castle, prestigious type of build. I didn't add in lots of kids stuff. And in all honesty, with the release of Toddler Pack and all of the toddler themed builds we've got going on at the moment, it was kind of refreshing not to have to worry about putting anything kiddie orientated into it. I mean, obviously, if you were to download this lot for your family, then there is so much room and so much, you know, outdoor space as well that you can play with, that you can add all of that in anyway. And I've said this before in another video that, you know, even if you do download another lot of the gallery, you always tend to personalise it to fit your own Sims family anyway, a little bit like if you moved into a new house. So yeah, I guess it makes no big deal really. Now, this kitchen, the way that I leave it is not how it looks in the end. And it pretty much looks similar, but it looks like I left it fairly bare. And what I tend to do is, and it can be quite hard to record on a speed build, is I will go round, especially on a big build, and complete each room with the essentials. I'm pretty sure I say this every time, but I'm going to tell you again anyway. I complete every room with the essentials, everything that I want in it. So the kitchen's obviously going to have a cooker, a microwave, fridge, all that kind of stuff. And then what I'll do is, if I'm a little bit stuck for what I really want it to look like, I'll just move on to the next room, because it helps me to get these speed builds done a lot faster. And then I tend towards the end of the build, I go back round each room and then I get rid of anything that I don't like and then replace it, but then I add in extra detail as well. So it's kind of like looking, because I've had a little break from the room, it's almost like looking at it through fresh eyes again, and I will just go in and add more detail and change things up. So that's why I would recommend with my builds is maybe just having a look. I always do sort of the screenshots at the end of the video, and yeah, it's worth having a little look at them a little bit more in detail to see the final look, because I do tend to change things and add little bits in here and there as well. But I do love this build. I think it's really quite beautiful. Practicality wise, it just wouldn't work. Seasons wise, if we ever get seasons, it wouldn't work either. You know, well, if you classed an open window as being like true to life, then this build just wouldn't work, because it's literally, plus it would be robbed within minutes, because it just doesn't have any kind of proper windows or doors as such. But hey, this is The Sims 4 and it kind of looks good, so I'll just go with that. But yeah, I quite like these big reception rooms. I must admit, when I do play in The Sims, the quite funny thing is that I never actually use big builds. It's very rare in a Let's Play or when I'm playing personally that I will ever kind of play in such a big house, because it just takes such a long time, I think, anyway, for your Sims to do, you know, keep up with the needs and do all the additional activities that you want them to do without then having to walk from one end of the house over to the other. It's just, you know, the Sims are quite needy, if that makes sense, and being in a bigger build makes it a little bit harder. But I don't know, let me know what you think. Do you like playing in huge builds, or do you like to keep it like medium or small? I think I quite like a medium-sized build when I'm playing, but still, I absolutely adore making these stupidly huge builds. And I'm having so much fun with the Millionaire's Row series as well. Because I do kind of get this itch all the time to build a massive build, this Millionaires Row series is going to be really good, because it just means that I'm able to, you know, kind of fulfill that need and build a really good series that I hope everybody else enjoys as well. So you will see that I've just brought in my tester sim, which is my sim self. She comes with me in every single one of the builds that I do, and yeah, it's so I can adjust the lighting within the build. And I did adjust the reception area to make it look quite dim and red and romantic, which was quite nice actually. I quite like that room. But with regards to these rooms, these are just sort of filler rooms where I think I put a little bit of a library to the side, and then this again is a bit more of an office area. So I thought I'd include it anyway, because I thought I can't miss out every room that I've done. But this is going on to the main dining area, and this is probably the biggest dining area I've ever done. And it feels really simple to me. I mean, sometimes I look at my builds and my interiors and I think, I don't think that's detailed enough. And I know I'm not the most detailed of builders, but then sometimes I look at other people's builds and I think, I'm more detailed than them. It kind of gets me every time, because sometimes when I'm building, I do just think, I look at the build and I think, I've not put enough in there. And then it's only when I look back or I watch someone else's speed build and I think, yeah, maybe I'm putting a bit too much into my builds. But yeah, it kind of felt, I don't know if it's because it was so open, and obviously you can't fill every little bit of space, but yeah, some of it felt a little bit sparse, but I guess looking at it now, it's not really, it serves its purpose. So yeah, we're moving on to the final room now, and I was like, oh, I don't know what to do with this room. It was identical to the one on the left, and I thought, well, it could be another reception room, because obviously you do tend to have multiple reception rooms within large builds. So I did kind of go for a similar look to the other side, but just added in a couple of little bits that were different, like the kind of shisha pipe kind of situation. I put one of those in somewhere. Another piano, because you can't have enough pianos in a big build. A, they take up a good amount of space, and B, I think they look pretty good as well. I have used the piano in this so many times. So I hope whichever Sims move here like music, because yeah, there's definitely enough pianos to keep them going for a while. But I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. It's Saturday night at the moment, and oh, my kids are going back to school on Monday, my two of my youngest, and I can't believe it. The school holidays have flown by, and oh, I'm getting so excited to be back into the routine and back into normality, and I'm really going to miss them. I've had such a great time with them off. But yeah, so it's all going back to normal now. But what have you been up to this weekend? Have you had a good weekend? Have you done anything exciting, or has it just been nice and relaxing? Either way, I hope you've had a good one, and I hope you've enjoyed this video as well. I think we're coming towards the end of it now. So if you did enjoy this video, please give me a big thumbs up. That lets me know that you are having a good time watching what I'm creating, and I'll keep doing more of a similar sort of thing. If you can share with your friends anywhere and everywhere, that helps too. And if you want to follow me on Twitter or Twitch, feel free to do so. All the information's in the description box below. But I look forward to seeing you next time. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.